On the Instagram.
Or the what? Or the
On
what?
the
YouTube.
The YG.
YT.
YT.
Oh, how you're so youthful over there with your little.
Man. Oh, it's 1:30. Geez,
Jodi beat us. You know, what is that food?
Sometimes my phone takes like, I think
we
I
need to
turn.
get more food people on this program. I'm hungry. Every time I come here, I'm hungry.
Yeah, all I've had is they call it rice cakes.
Really?
Yes,
You're
rice
dieting?
No, I didn't want to. Tracy, see Joe there.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. I spent the whole morning doing online school. That shit is hard, yo.
My girl.
Yo, big up to all the parents.
So I noticed that you haven't said anything about my eyebrows, but I did do some plucking.
Oh,
some shaping.
Oh wow, you plucked and waxed.
Yes. Where's Sandra? Where's Sandra?
Leave Sandra alone. Sandra not coming back over here.
No, Sandra needs to come back and tell me if my melasma cream is working, because Sandra was honest.
But what a way Tracy look pretty, says Bashment Barbie. Hey.
Hi, Bashment Barbie.
Jodi in the place. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tricky, where we take your mind off of what's going on outside the closet and bring you in here for an hour of fun, frolic, and foolishness. Welcome everybody. I see Dallas, Texas in the house. I see Jodi in the house. Woo! Sandra not living it down. I think Sandra was like a one-timer. Like she came over here and she was like, "What is going on? Who is this? Who is this girl?"
Yeah, but at least Sandra
and she dropped a comment
about
and then
mustache. But guys, do you see?
You looking good, man.
But do you see going away? I've been using the cream the day after Sandra bad me up, followed by Jodi's constant thing. I went and got the cream.
You got the cream?
Yeah. So I want to know if Sandra is here. Could you please tell me how's my mustache looking? Sandra?
It's not looking too bad.
It's not the best, right?
It's not the best. It's not the best.
But it's getting better.
Somebody's asking Tracy, how is the nanny?
So the nanny came 2 days last week. So I had the nanny coming 2 days a week, and she's excellent. I love her. She's fabulous, and I felt a little guilty for having a nanny. So trying to get over those feelings, Jodi's like, "You cannot pour from an empty cup." So, but she's excellent. She's excellent. Okay, so today we actually have a great show planned for you guys. We have a special guest coming on today, and her name is Marion McIntyre. She's the Behavior Change Communications Coordinator at the National Family Planning Board of Jamaica. So we are going to have Marion come in here today, and we're going to talk about family planning and why it's important, what it is. She also talks about STDs and other types of sexually transmitted diseases, as well as contraceptives. I am so excited to talk about this. You know, some lovely sex chat already.
Yeah, you do. Okay. If we're not talking about pum-pums, we're talking about pum-pum related things. The flavor today, well spicy.
Wait, how you go from pum-pum to flavor today? What's that, pum-pum flavor?
No, this is not pum-pum flavor. It's spicy though. Pum-pum is spicy. So this is a spicy summer margarita by Lady B Mixology.
And I have a Lady B Mixology hard tea going on hard cider going on here, and mine is raspberry iced tea, which Sean just tried to steal from me a while ago. I had to be like, "It's for the show, my friend."
As well as cussing me off. I'm dropping a little cussing.
I know.
Just leave it. Make him cuss me.
I cuss Scott all the time. So if I want to cuss you, make him cuss you.
Yeah,
it feels good.
I like to cuss. That's how it goes. Wow, that was a gulp. Gulpity gulp. You look so beautiful today, Trey.
Thank you.
You look really nice.
Thank you.
See, as soon as you get the nanny, you can fix up yourself and spend some more time. Whiskey sour. Whew.
Oh, that was a good gulp.
Lady B Mixology.
So you want to check if Marion is here to see if we can invite her on the live and see what's happening there?
Wow. I think I brushed. Ooh.
How spicy is that?
It's a little spicy, but also I just brushed my teeth, so it's like, okay, hold on, let's see. Let's see who's it. Is that her?
Let me see. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, guys. So we're
Marion?
Marion? Why are you saying her name like that?
It's Marion. Marion.
Marion?
Oh.
Hi, Marion.
Oh,
Hi.
You're so pretty with your red glasses. I love it. I love people that wear glasses who do something like
a color, like
Yeah.
something bright and something exciting. Marion, thank you so much for joining us. We have Marion here from the National Family Planning Board. Now, Marion, the first thing I want to ask you, right? Family planning. No, there's so many people who have started a family or who have children without the planning part of it. So tell me, so tell me, where do you fit in? What do you do exactly?
Okay, sure, no problem. Thank you so much for having me on. You're absolutely correct. The vast majority of pregnancies that happen in Jamaica are unplanned. That's just the reality of it. However, what we try to do from the National Family Planning Board level is we do campaigns, we do sensitizations, we do education sessions. We just try to put information out there and the resources to make family planning accessible. Because the aim is that we want to address unmet needs. Because what we found is that one of the reasons why persons don't plan their pregnancy is because they either don't know about the family planning methods, they don't trust the family planning methods, maybe they had a previous experience where one failed. So we try to bridge that gap.
Hold on, before we go any further, what exactly is family planning? Because, I am not really clear on what family planning is.
All right, so family planning is exactly as the word says, or the phrase says. It's exactly how you space your family, how you plan for children, right? Now, ideally, we would prefer if at least 2 years are in between your children.
Right.
And in order to do so, you have to use a method. We have several methods that are available, which I'll go to in a little bit. But the aim is really to have persons consciously think of when they're going to have children and ensure that they're adequately spaced. So that's family planning.
Okay. So let's say no, I don't plan as you had mentioned. What happens to me now? What happens when maybe I've had my baby out of wedlock, or I've had my baby and I'm a little young? Will family planning help me? What do I do?
Okay, yes, great question. So first things first, we don't judge where you have your children or what age you're at. We ideally don't want teenagers to be having kids, but we know that they do. So we have programs now where we actually provide long-acting reversible contraceptives for adolescents. What that does is that if you have a teenager who already has a child, we are trying to put them on a method that gives them a long period of protection. We're not talking about 2 years now. We're gone beyond that.
Oh, good.
So we have some methods. One is Jadel. We have Jadel or Level Plan. Those are the two ones that we have in Jamaica now. There are contraceptive implants, 2 little rod that we put on the arm, surgically, so a doctor has to do it, and it gives you protection for up to 5 years. So it allows a teenager to get back on track, go back to school, finish up, and then when they're done, they may decide to remove it and have more children if necessary. There's also another method, which is the IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive device, or copper T, as we call it here in Jamaica.
Okay.
You know that one, right? That one gives you protection for up to 12 years.
Okay.
So, once it's put in properly, it can be done by a midwife at a health center. We have several health centers across the island that offer it.
Right.
Most that's 3s and over. And once you pop that sucker in,
you're good to
and
go.
you ensure that it's in place, you check it periodically, you're good to go.
Okay, so I think you're skipping ahead.
Okay, sorry.
I have questions in order.
No problem. You go.
All right.
Okay.
So, Marion, so we have started. We want a family. We're starting a family. We're talking about it with the husband, and why is it so important, or the baby father, or the partner, or whoever it is? It could be. We'll talk with our partner about our pregnancy. Why do you think that it's so important to talk to your partner about building a family?
Actually, it's very critical. One of the issues that we find that happens is that persons underestimate how much goes into raising children, right?
Yeah.
It's not something you could just be, jumped into willy-nilly. You really have to plan for it, prepare for it. Now, as somebody who actually had a child before I was ready, I had a child when I was 20, so I know all about that. And you find that it adds a level of strain to your life that if you're not prepared for it, it can cause your relationships to crumble. And, there are many other issues. We have gender-based violence that comes up because of that unplanned pregnancy. We have situations where the partner might resent the wife or the spouse or the girlfriend or whomever because this child has not come in at a time when they may not have necessarily been even thinking about having a child.
Right.
And the other thing is that you know your life best. You know what your plans are. You know where you are in the whole timeline or the schematics of how you plan out your life. So you would know best when a child should come in. So that's why it's critical for that conversation to happen so that you have your child at the appropriate time, that both parties are okay, both parties are happy, and look forward to bringing this child forward.
So at
Hold
the
on,
national
just answering a question that popped up twice. And if you see me looking down, I'm writing. Please don't think I'm being rude, Marion. You said the adequate spacing for having children is 2 years. So I was just answering minimum of 2 years. I saw that that kept popping up. And hello, Arizona. And no, I don't have Pinterest. Tracy, go ahead.
and I want to get back to that 2 years in a little bit, but
Sure.
so I'm still in the mode of family planning here. I'm still planning.
Plan.
Okay. So I've spoken to my partner about having a child. What are some of the points that we need to talk about when I'm speaking to my partner? Because I mean, the one that pops up in my head, which is a big one, is finances. Because yeah, I just had a child with my husband Scott, aka husband. Love you, babe. And it's expensive. Like, it's expensive. And every day there's a new expense. Like, I've been breastfeeding. We've started formula. It was $5,000 for formula. Like, I have to get a case of Pampers tomorrow. Like, what the hell? And then, like, thank God I had a registry where people so lovingly gave me things. Because if not, God no. So
I would have bought them for you.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
For my Stevie. I told you to give her to me. I
know. But what are some of the questions other than finances, or even going into finances, the ABCDs? What questions should I ask, or should my partners and I talk about?
Partners and I? How many of you having the baby together? And two people in about partner. No judgment, but just saying. Just saying.
She wants to have 2 baby daddies, that's right.
Girl, you.
Alright, so one of the first things that I think you should definitely ascertain with your partner is your relationship at that stage right now where it's a good idea to bring a child into it. Because another spin-off that happens from unplanned pregnancies is child abuse, child neglect. Now, if you bring a child into a relationship that is not stable, where you're not living in a space that is conducive to raising a child, the child needs space. People need to run up and down. People need place to sleep, and sleeping in your bed until the child is 5, 6 is not appropriate, right? So those are some of the things. Where are we in our relationship? Are we prepared? Are we ready? Are we stable enough to bring a child into this relationship? Is it loving? Because if you and your partner having issues, meaning you're quarreling all the time, you're not even sure if you're going to stay with this person. 1 minute you're ready to leave, you pack your bags, you're ready to go. No, it's not a good time to bring a child into that.
Pick me now, old man again.
Thank you. And it does not.
No,
it does not.
It kind of. Yeah. I believe it makes things worse.
Yeah.
It makes things worse. Yeah. A child just kind of amplifies any problems that were there before.
Thank you.
So we're looking at where we are in our relationship, how strong is our relationship. Then we need to look at financially, can we afford this?
Yeah.
And then
roles and responsibilities, like who is going to take on this, who's going to take on that, so that
and also look at goals, because you can't plan for a child by yourself. So what exactly is your partner looking to achieve over the next 5 years? A lot of the times we neglect that part. The wife or the girlfriend may want a child so badly, you don't even think about my partner, is this what he wants right now? Maybe he has plans to start a business. Maybe he's going back to school.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wants to enjoy butt naked sex in the house a little bit longer without thinking about kids.
True.
Right. Factor that into the discussion. Ensure that both persons are at that place where they're comfortable and ready to give love to a new baby.
Right. And just going off of that butt naked thing, I think that sometimes women are a little bit selfish in their want to have a child so badly that they don't consider a man's feelings, and they go and they sneak and have a child, and they think that this is okay, and then they're upset when the man doesn't want to take on responsibility and take on roles with the child. Like, it's a tough job. It's a tough job, and it is a job meant for two. And it's a job
even more than two, because you need the family. You need the family.
But somebody's bringing up single moms a lot of the times, and we do see where it's not two. And let me tell you something, I see some of these moms, these single moms, and sometimes too these moms that have partners, but the partners don't really play an active role. I just want to big up the single moms now, because Jano,
it's rough.
It's rough when you don't have that person to lean on. And you know what? I want to just say to Marion that maybe not that person to lean on. It doesn't have to be a husband, right? Because I see a lot of times women put this great emphasis on marriage, and marriage going to solve this. And my husband, I'm in love him. My husband is so nice and right. And it doesn't necessarily, it's not for everybody. Marriage is not for everybody, but we do want to encourage a partner. We want to not a partner,
a union.
A union. No, not a union.
A marriage.
No. We want to
hurry up, the man.
Like a unit, like whether it be a friend or your mommy, somebody that's going to help you, because you do need somebody to lean on.
Very good.
Yes.
I love to chat, you see.
There are women who choose to have children outside of marriage or a partnership. We, as I said, no judgment zone. Sometimes this happens if a woman is at a certain age and she's not in a stable relationship, but she just wants to have a child. I think some of the same questions would still apply.
Right.
Are you financially able to take care of this child? Yeah. What kind of support system do you have in place? Is it, money? Some sister, somebody must be there to assist you. Can you afford a nanny? Those type of things.
So it's not the word family planning that you're kind of, because this is.
Well, you're starting a family, so you're planning for your own family.
Yes, but you're okay.
Whether your family be you, your child, and the nanny, you, your child, and
so you're open as to what the definition of family is.
Correct.
Okay, I'm happy now.
All right.
But ideally, we want it to be mommy, daddy.
Correct. But we also don't want, and I'm sure you see, Marion, nowadays, the percentage of the ideal family is not really as high as you would like to see it. So I just kind of want to be more inclusive, and we do see nowadays where we have,
okay, stop.
Okay, sorry.
So yes, Marion, you see, she has a problem with her child Levi. She said, Levi, don't shut up, But you know where I'm getting from.
That's all right.
Okay. So now we've spoken with our partner, and we're gonna go for the ideal situation in this episode over here, right? So we've spoken with our partner, and my partner says he wants to have children, right? So where do we go from here now? So we say, okay, let's just get it on in the bedroom. We've spoken about finances. We can do it. We're gonna move into a bigger house because we know the baby is there, and we're gonna have the baby. What does family planning now help us even more, or is that it for family planning?
No. So ideally, what should have been happening even before you got to this conversation? You should have been on a family planning method.
Okay.
Once you started to have sex, because once there is sex, there is a possibility for pregnancy. Right. So if you were on a method and you have now decided with your partner that you are, give me a second, it's raining, don't move.
See? Betty too cute says sometimes you mean to me, man. You mean to me.
Excuse me, Betty, you clearly were not here 2 episodes ago when Jodi and Sandra dug into me, okay?
I'm back.
Oh, hi, Marion.
Right. Okay, right. So, you should have been on a method. No. Now that you're comfortable, ready to have sex and copulate and have a baby, you can now determine if you come off of the method.
Right. Okay.
So this is where it gets a little shaky. A lot of persons think that family planning methods only come in after you've had the first child. What we're trying to recommend that persons do is that once you're sexually active, you should be on a method. And we're not just talking about condoms. Persons use condoms, yes, but we're thinking more long term. So we talk about dual method use.
Okay.
So that is a family planning method, for example, your pills, the copper tea that we mentioned, the Jadel, the injection, which is the 3-month injection. Whether you're using that, it should be with a condom.
Okay.
So dual method protects you from pregnancy as well as
STDs.
STDs.
Because a condom is the only way to prevent an STD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because everything else, the raw penis still goes into the raw vagina.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
There's still exchange of bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fine.
That was a nice way of saying it instead of all this raw. There's still an exchange of bodily fluids.
Right. So now that you've made a decision to have the child, then you would come off the method and then you can try. So usually what happens is you talk to your doctor, ensure that everything is okay. Some persons have issues, pre-existing issues. What happens though, when it comes down to fertility checks, they don't normally do those until you've tried for a while and you're not able to get pregnant.
Okay.
Right? But outside of that, some of the basic things that you can check for, just, PID, if there's pelvic inflammatory disease, if there's any infection going on that might have affected the organs down there, you check to make sure the man is all right, he's not having any erectile dysfunction issues. Those are things that you can speak to your doctor about. And once you're clear, you can go.
Okay.
Is a condom needed when I saw, who is that asked? Is a condom needed when it's your only partner?
All right. No, this is where it gets tricky. There's absolutely no way to know if you are your partner's only partner. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
We have some statistics or some data that was really troubling in 2018. Of all the persons who tested positive for HIV in 2018, 32% of those persons were women who we call low-risk women. Now, low-risk women are women who don't have a history of sex work, so they're not, on the street hustling.
I did like a housewife them, don't it? Yeah, man, I don't housewife them. Yes, man, we know it.
There you go. These are women who consider their relationships, whether they're married or in a long-term relationship, to be safe and stable. These are women who did not have a history of STIs before. So this was the first STI that they're coming, and it is the big one, HIV. Right. So that was a little concerning for us.
Right.
So what we've been doing since that, we have been trying to figure out what's the best way to approach low-risk women. Because that's me too. I've been married for 4 years. How do we broach the topic of condoms with your partner without them thinking, what do you want to give me, or something I go on, why all of a sudden you want to use condoms? But it's an important conversation to have. So what we've been recommending that persons do, start the conversation at home. Start a conversation. Give them the stats, tell them what actually happens, what's going on in Jamaica with women who are in what seems to be stable, monogamous relationships, having, contracting HIV. So we know that we do have an issue with multiple partnerships. Now, the data also shows that we do surveys every, I think, 3 to 4 years. That's our KAPB, Knowledge, Attitudes, Practices, and Behavior Studies. And what it shows is that our men and women are engaging in multiple partnerships. They have regular partners that they sleep with. And sometimes you might find that the condom use, even with the outside partner, is not consistent.
Right.
So, you have to have this conversation with your partner. Hopefully it can be a pleasant, amicable conversation where you can encourage, protection. But we know it's difficult. We know it's a difficult topic to broach with your partner in terms of using condoms, but we recommend it.
So now, how do you know if you have an STD or HIV? Like, obviously, I'm a low risk woman as well. And, I'm clearly thinking
Your
that...
sister just gave you the side eye.
The low risk woman there.
low risk. But I mean, how would I know if I have an STD or if it's just like, a yeast infection, my pum flaring up? Like, how do I know?
Okay, so for HIV, there's no way to know. That's why you just have to do routine HIV tests. That's the
You
bottom line.
lie. Jesus.
Say that again?
I said you lie. I didn't know that you would not. There's no things for HIV.
I didn't know that either.
There's no symptom. No. I mean, you probably get like flu-like symptoms, but I mean, you wouldn't know that it's related to contracting HIV. You just think, oh, I'm catching a bug or something.
Yeah.
So there's no way to know when somebody has HIV unless you act it. Yeah, absolutely no way. They don't look any different. They don't act any different. Yeah. The only thing, and the next thing too, we need to make that big distinction between HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
People tend to clump it up.
It's true.
When it's different. HIV is the virus, human immunodeficiency virus, right? What that does is that once you contract the virus, your body now starts to replicate. The virus starts to replicate in your body, right? It doesn't give you symptoms, and it takes years if you are not on treatment for it to progress to AIDS. So AIDS is the disease now. This is where you start having opportunistic infections and other things. That's when you start to have issues, visible.
Right. Okay.
There you go. Visible things. And that takes years, long time. So
can HIV be cured?
No, it can't be cured. Incurable.
Okay.
But there are medications, and that's the thing. That's why I think sometimes people aren't afraid of HIV anymore.
Yeah.
Because once you're on your antiretrovirals, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You can live a long, fruitful life once you're compliant. You take it daily, how you're supposed to take it. You exercise, you eat well, you can live a long, fruitful life till them son you.
But I mean, you say that people aren't afraid of it anymore, but like, is there a cost behind these pills that you have to take? I mean, you're taking them for life, so...
Yeah. So the government of Jamaica now has a program, well, it's been around for a while, where you can get your ARVs through the drug serve. But, private sector, persons who choose up to purchase it privately can do so as well. But it's available from the government-funded drug serve.
Okay. So, other than HIV, what are some of the common STDs out there that people get and don't know that they're carrying an STD?
Or sometimes because crabs, you know about the crab them. Lord God.
Yes. Right. So there's quite a long list of STIs. So we don't use the term STDs anymore.
Oh, okay.
Right. So we focus on STIs, the infection.
Okay.
So you mentioned yeast before. Yeast is not considered an STI, right? That's something that can happen to a woman whether she's sexually active, yes or no.
Okay.
Right? So it's not sexually transmitted. However, you have syphilis, you have gonorrhea, you have trichomoniasis, and there are quite a few others. And you had mentioned crabs. There are some others that are not necessarily infections in the sense of like a virus or a bacteria or some sort of pathogen, but it's a parasite that can live in the groin area and cause itching.
So that would be the crabs.
Yes.
So what about HPV now?
Right. Human papilloma virus is another STI. That one, it can cause two things. So you have several strains of HPV, and there are some of the strains that cause warts, genital warts. Those genital warts can come up around the vagina, it can come up around the anus. And the anus, especially if you're having anal sex.
Right.
And of course on the penis. And then you have the strains of HPV that can lead to cancer. Now that's where we're going now into the cervical cancer issue.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
But again, usually once you have HPV, it does not, your body fights it generally, right? So it's not that it's incurable. Your body tends to fight the various strains of HPV, but sometimes you have some more resilient ones that can lead to cancer that stick around. And if you're not up to date with your pap smears and you haven't taken your vaccine, then you can have a possibility of it eventually leading to cervical cancer. What it does is that it affects the cervix. It changes the cells in the cervix, which can only be picked up if you do a pap smear.
Right.
Right. So if you're not doing that routinely, things can slip through the cracks, and it doesn't come with symptoms initially. You only have symptoms when it's gotten to the point where it has changed the whole schematics of the cervix, and you start having complications.
So we can't talk about HPV and not talk about Gardasil. Now, Gardasil is a preventative measure for HPV.
It's a vaccine.
It's a vaccine. Okay. So tell me a little bit about Gardasil, and do we offer that in Jamaica, and at what age can you take Gardasil?
All right, so we have a program now through the government of Jamaica. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we offer the vaccine to, I can't tell if it's Gardasil, to be honest. I really should know this information. But we offer the vaccine to girls in grade 7. So once you enter high school, with parental consent, the nurses can come to the campus and offer the vaccine to girls. Ideally, though, boys and girls can get it. So you can also go to your private doctor and request it, and your teenage boy or teenage girl can get it. The aim is for them to take the vaccine before they become sexually active. Because again, right, we want it's a prophylaxis of sorts. So we want to get this thing into your body before you contract HPV. What it does now is to help your body to fight certain strains of HPV that are known to cause disease.
Okay, and then other than HPV that is contracted sexually, is there any HPV that you can get through touch or a scratch or something like that? I think I've heard that somewhere. Am I correct?
Right. So HPV, it's not just through sexual intercourse. The reason why it's a sexually transmitted infection is because once you're having sex, there's skin to skin, right? And HPV, it cannot be using a condom. Sad to say, does not protect you from HPV because again, once there's skin to skin contact, you can transmit HPV. But again, as I mentioned, there's so many different strains, and most of the strains your body just deals with and clears that up. The ones that get introduced into the vagina, that are the ones that can lead to cervical cancer, are the problematic ones, and the ones that can lead to genital warts.
What are some of the complications, or the side effects?
You're not letting me have a chance. You're hogging. So just a reminder that we are here talking with Marion McIntyre. She is a behavioral change communication coordinator down at the National Family Planning Board of Jamaica. So Marion, we've had some great questions that Jodi Hagisha has been asking here. And she has been asking some great questions about some STIs as well as the vaccine for the HPV and stuff like that. But we do have some people out there who think that this isn't gonna happen to me. Like, I'm way too above an STD. This doesn't happen to me. Or no, my child will definitely not be doing these type of things. There's no way that my child there's no way my child knows about No Vibes Cartel and Romping Shop. Do you have any so what are the statistics like in terms of women who contract STIs or children that have the HPV virus? I just want people to understand that you are not exempt from this. Like, it happens and it's a regular thing and it's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it is something that you need to take control of once you feel it happening. So I just wanted to...
Okay, so good question, but that's not something that we track. So we don't know how many teenagers have been tested for HPV and have been found to have HPV. Again, because it's not something that is so mainstream, where persons are cognizant of, HPV. Even with the vaccine, the uptake of the vaccine isn't even as high as it should be, because if you recall, when the program had just started, there was quite a bit of backlash to it.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah.
Right. There wasn't enough public education. A lot of persons were skeptical about it. So it's still at that stage where they're trying to make it become more mainstream, to make it more acceptable. And we also don't know how many women contract, because not all STIs are what we call first class reportable infection. So we wouldn't necessarily be sending that information to Ministry of Health if somebody has chlamydia. You just treat the chlamydia and send the person on their merry way. But what we can tell you though, without any sort of hesitancy, is that no one is exempt. Once you are sexually active, you are at risk of contracting an STI. So what we definitely want persons to be cognizant of, try to reduce your partner number. As I mentioned earlier, we do know, we have the data to show that people are having multiple partnerships. But what we want you to do, we're not telling you stop having more than one partner, even though we want you to, but we know it's difficult for some persons. But definitely reduce your partner number, and definitely ensure that a condom is present at all sex acts. Every single sex act, ensure that a condom is present.
Including oral sex?
Yes.
Condom
so with oral sex,
they have flavored condoms. How do you know what condom is? What you doing?
Me no born big enough.
Yes. Yes, the aim is to protect yourself. And another thing that we tell persons is that don't leave your protection in the hands of somebody else.
Right.
So don't just assume that because your partner look good and them look clean and nice and, think that them safe. You are responsible for your protection. So always just think this person might have something, especially if it's the first time you're having sex with this person. To ensure that you're protected. So even with oral sex, the aim is that there should be a barrier present. We always talk about dental dams and that sort of thing, but I have not seen one in a very long time. I really don't know if it's still available at the pharmacies. But it's not something that we offer. Dental dam.
Get little, what you call it? Saran wrap on your good man.
Oh, okay.
No. So the dental dam is, all right, have you ever done a root canal?
Yes.
Do you recall them putting a green strip of plastic over your tooth?
Oh,
Do you recall that?
no.
Yes, that's similar to a dental dam. It's a piece of sheet of elastic that can be stretched. So the aim is that you can stretch it over the penis.
Right.
And then you do your thing.
Oh, okay.
You can also use a condom. So once a condom is on the penis, then you can do that.
Okay.
So if you want to use a flavored condom, a scented condom, it's up to you. But try to ensure that the sex act is a protected one.
Okay, so before we move on to our next STD, so we're just wrapping up on the HPV. It would be a great idea to get the Gardasil or one similar approved for your child. They can be given this at 7th grade or before they are sexually active. It's best to get them the injection before they're sexually active. So even if they're 17 and they're not sexually active, they can get the...
So what if they are sexually active?
Then they don't go on bad already.
Oh.
No, you can still get it from your doctor, but you will not get it from the government program.
Oh, okay.
All right, and something that was very important that really hit me hard was that for the case of HIV, there are no physical symptoms. So that really shocked me. So I see a couple of people asking now about herpes. So if I have herpes, if I need something, do I call family planning? What do I do? Does family planning give out condoms? What about plan B? When do I call family planning? I have sex already. It don't go on bad. When do I call you now? I need help.
All right. So let me just put this out there. NFPB is not necessarily a service provider. We are more the technical leads when it comes down to sexual and reproductive health. So we are the ones who start the programs and roll it out across the island.
Okay.
We do have a small clinic at our office at 5 Sylvan Avenue. But that office, we mainly do call-ins. Persons can call in, walk in, phone in, WhatsApp rather, to our Marjorie number, which I will give you shortly. And you can speak to a counselor. Now, the counselor will be able to give you information about these STIs that you think you might have. So if you have any sort of discharge, that you're not sure what's going on, something that seems frothy, that seems green, that's yellow, that's itchy, anything that is out of the norm for what you are accustomed to with your vagina or your penis, right? You can call in, discuss that with her, and then she can make referrals.
Okay.
Another thing that we do is that we do HIV testing at our site as well, right? So you can actually go onto our website at NFPB and then .org, and you can book an appointment. We have an online booking system. So if you're in Kingston, you can book with us to come to your test. And we also are very big on family planning. So family planning methods. So we have a nurse that offers the pills. So you can get the contraceptive pills. We offer microgynon right now. And I think it's $50 a pack. So it's quite cheap.
$50 a pack for birth control?
Jamaican?
Yes.
Yo, I remember when I used to sneak and take Pearl. $50 for a pack of Pearl back, 20 years ago? Yes, man. Family planning a
But not in
shot
the
for
pharmacy,
$50.
but as NFPB, you can get it for $50.
Wow,
$50 a pack. That's great.
Yeah.
Maybe not 20 years ago.
We're trying to reduce whatever barriers there may be for persons using it.
That's
And
amazing.
we also offer the injection. So the injection is done on site as well. We're currently using, people might be accustomed to Depo-Provera, but we are no longer offering that one.
Okay.
What you're going to be seeing is an injection called Mygesty, Mygesty. Same formulation as Depo, same period of protection, same 3 months. Right, same administration, just a single shot in the arm.
And that lasts 3 months.
Yes, and you come back every 3 months to get your next shot. And that's pretty much it.
So what about I've had sex and I think I'm pregnant? And there, I know what there's a pill that we could Plan B. So tell me about that pill now. Let's talk about that.
Unfortunately, we don't offer Plan B from our clinic at NFPB, but again, once you call in to our counselor and you express your concerns, there are some questions she might ask you about, your last period, what are you experiencing now that makes you think that you're pregnant, and then, she might ask about last time you had sex, and what we do now is refer you to the pharmacy to get it, because you can literally just walk into a pharmacy and order.
Okay, because I was just about to say, if I have sex and I feel like I'm pregnant and I don't want that pregnancy and I need to use Plan B, Plan B needs to be used within 24 hours of that pregnancy. If I don't have the time or the money, so if I don't have the time or the money to see that doctor to then get that Plan B within the 72 hours, that won't exactly go with my planning, so I can just speak to my pharmacist.
Right. So 72 hours since the last time you had sex.
Okay.
So we're not talking about actual conceiving or conception. Right. So, and the efficacy of it depletes as the hours pass. So the earlier you take it, the better.
Okay.
So you go to the pharmacy, you have a conversation. They ask you the same questions. When was your last period? Because they want to see if you're in your fertile zone.
Right.
They'll ask you if you had unprotected sex. Obviously, that's why you're coming to buy it. And you can get it. No, I am not sure if this is offered to minors. It's not. So it's older persons. But however, if it's a rape case, there are persons who can help. There are some helplines. There's E for Life. There are several agencies that can assist you. And I know once you contact the Ministry of Health about a rape situation, or you go to a clinic to report it. They can also offer the after morning pill to assist you. Okay. Yeah, but that's if it's a rape situation. Right. Otherwise, if I just you're your husband careless, go to the pharmacy and get the pill.
Okay. Oh, any more questions? I'll give you the floor.
Wow, thank you. So this is a lot of information that we've gone through in such a short period of time. So just want to let people know that if you do have some more questions, if you want to know more about anything that we've spoken about, you can log on to their website. It is nfpb.org. You can also give them a call down there, and there are counselors that you can go, that you can talk to. This is just some information that I thought was pretty necessary in getting out there, just because.
Marion is looking for the WhatsApp number. That's what you're doing, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll recap, Marion. Please get the WhatsApp
Shame
number.
on
I'll
me.
recap in the meantime from what we spoke about earlier. I think it's very important that you get the WhatsApp number from me, though, Marion. All right, so with family planning and what Marion does, Marion is basically the technical side of it. She wants to put that information out there, and then when you are planning your family in the ideal situation, doesn't necessarily have to be with a husband, but with a partner or a dedicated friend that's going to help you. You need to look at where we are in this relationship. Is this relationship strong enough? Can you afford a child? The living space. Do you have space for a child? Hey, them take up a whole heap of space, you know, them take up one bag of space.
Especially with their toys.
Yes, and the most important thing, are you patient enough for online schooling? Okay, that's the first one, Marion.
That's a new one.
You need to
right?
move that to
That's
number
the
one.
movie.
Okay? Because let me tell you something. You want me to tell you something? So this morning during PE class, Sean did not realize the camera was on and gave Levi a pam-pam on his bottom, and I believe the class saw. But we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that. Health-wise, are you and your partner, are you physically fit? Because at the end of the day, these little young kids, they will run you ragged. Can you maybe not keep up with them? I don't think anybody can keep up with them. And some of them can you maybe try to keep up with them, you know? And
if you're physically well enough to, because you know, if you have an STI and you get pregnant and it's not treated, you can pass it on to your child at birth.
Okay.
So, right.
Yeah.
Especially HIV.
Yeah, and the roles and responsibilities. What's daddy going to do? What's mommy going to do? What's my partner going to do? What am I going to do? Especially now with online school. And I will definitely pass that off. I'll pass that off. And I've been looking at the comments, guys. I've been trying to write down and see any questions that you guys may have. You can ask any comments now. Let me just ask any questions now to Marion. But I think this is very important because, Marion, I do think that nowadays in our society, not just Jamaica alone, I find that the age at which kids are having sex now is just so young. Yeah. You know, like, honestly, I boy, it's very sad.
Do you remember the campaign that we had a couple of years, well, a lot of years back, that said two is better than too many? Yeah. I thought that was a great campaign. Maybe we should bring it back.
You know who started that campaign, Marion? You know who came up with that line? Two is better than too many?
That was even before I was born.
Yes, it was. So it was a great man by the name of Edgar Stewart.
That's my grandpa! My grandpa!
Yes. So he was in advertising. He was one of the more popular and larger advertising firms, and he actually helped with the, what is it? Not the anthem. He helped with one of the Jamaican.
I think it was the naming of our national.
We're just trying to show how important we are.
I know.
Your family. Yeah.
He never really left us that much money, but
at all.
So anyway, so we just want to remind everybody of the website. It's nfpb.org. And please, Marion, can you send me the WhatsApp number so when I post this? Okay, right.
And we're also on social media platforms, so you can go on to Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and that's at NFPB Jamaica on all the platforms. Once you go on, you'll find everything there, because we've been doing a lot of campaigns for adolescents, for sexually active men and women, about family planning methods. So we have a wealth of information on our platforms. And you can also sending us a DM on any of these platforms. You can come directly to our counselor. So if you have any question, you can ask the questions there. It's private, it's confidential. Not even I know what is asked on any of these pages, unless there's something that, you know, really stands out that the counselor needs to bring to our attention.
Right.
But she's very professional. So any question at all you have, you can ask the questions there.
Marion, thank you so very much for stopping by. And I think it was very important just for us to touch on some of the the topics that we did today because
family planning is important.
It is. I'm really imploring your viewers to, if it's not something that they have started already, to really put some thought into family planning methods, because not every one of the methods is for everybody. Some persons will have, a bad reaction to something. For example, with Jadel, some persons say that it leads to bleeding, but it's not for everybody. So we definitely need to have persons get contraceptive counseling. We have done extensive training with our midwives or nurses or community health aides across the island to ensure that they have the right information to pass on to you. If you don't want to go to the clinic, go to your OBGYN, not a problem. They also have the full gamut of information. But start your method today. Start as quickly as you can, because we don't want to have a situation where we have too many. We want people to have kids, Don't mind. They say that 2 is better than too many was so good that we actually got the fertility rate down under 2. So we're beneath replacement level, which is not good. But what we find happening is that the persons who are having children, too close and maybe having too many of them are the persons who we really want to target to ensure that they are using their methods. It's offered free at the clinic. You can get the IUCD, you can get the pill, you can get the injection at the clinic free of cost. The Jadel is free to adolescents under the age of 19 right now because of a program that we have ongoing. But other persons can still get it. I don't know if there is there wouldn't be a fee, but you can still speak to your nurse and they will refer you to the hospital to get it.
Which one is a copper T? The Jadel is a copper T one?
No,
sorry.
So the copper T, the IUCD, that's the one that's inserted into the womb. It's shaped like a little T, tiny little contraption.
I wanted to ask you a question about that. So you were saying that lasts 10 years. Now I have a little contraption like that inserted, but mine only lasts 5 years. How come this brand lasts so long?
All right, so the one that you have in is the Marina. That one is the hormonal one. So it slow releases hormones over a 5-year period. So it has the same shape, it's inserted in the same way, but it does not provide protection in the same way. The one that we offer, because we don't offer Marina at the clinics. You can get it at the pharmacy and get it inserted by your OBGYN. But we offer the copper T, or what we just call the IUCD, at the clinics, and at the we actually purchase it for the island through the NFPB and distribute it to the regions. That one now slow releases copper. So there's copper wire wound around the T at the top and at the bottom. What it does is that it makes the environment in the womb hostile to sperm. Sperm don't like copper. So once that's in there, the sperm it stops functioning how it's supposed to function. It can't. So that swimming that it does to get to the egg, that's thwarted by the copper. So because the copper operates in that way, it provides longer term protection. So you can have it up to 12 years.
So let me ask you a question now. Say if I want to save a buck, right? My Marina finishes in, I believe, 2 years. Can I come to you and ask for your IUCD? Would I be a candidate?
You can go to any health center that offers family planning and get it. They'll just do counseling with you first. Because you cannot just, administer contraceptive without talking. Right. And once you do that, you can get it.
I know. So F Banana is asking, is it true that inserting the IUD hurts? Mine did not hurt any at all. I find that a pap smear was little bit more uncomfortable than inserting my IUD.
Yeah. I didn't have anything yet.
All right, so again, not everybody is the same. Because it involves some degree of opening the cervix. For some persons it hurts. Some persons feel a little cramping. Some persons it's just a little pressure that they feel, not necessarily pain. So it differs. However, the nurses have been trained again by us to do it in a way that you limit the amount of discomfort. And once you get that in, there will be a little bit of cramping afterwards because again you're introducing a foreign device Right.
I
Into
took a
the
little
womb.
Panadol. But when we come a pum pum big, it just never feel it, you know?
Oh wow. So Marion, before we go, our time is running out, but we have so many questions to ask you. This one is a very important one, I think. Is
Sure.
after you've had your baby, what time do I come to you to get some contraceptive? Because there is a time period where women think that you can't get pregnant, and and then we start having sex. So like, when do we go back to get our contraceptive after having baby?
Okay, so there are some methods that you can get right after delivery. So we have been known to, and when we say we, I'm not talking about the NFPB again, this is at the hospital, but I say we because, we tend to own the program, right? So you can get your IUCD once you had a vaginal delivery and everything is fine. We have been known to give the IUCD as well as the Jadel. Because of the breastfeeding aspect, there are some methods that we don't recommend. So we don't recommend that you take a pill, and we may not give you the injection until you come in for your postnatal visit to the clinic. We give you a little period of time. But however, once you come in after you have your baby, come for your postnatal visit, your nurse is going to definitely have that conversation with you or your doctor about contraceptives, because that's like automatic. The next step, how are you going to prevent this next pregnancy?
So
if you're exclusively breastfeeding, meaning you're not giving the baby formula, you're giving the baby only breast milk, nothing else, you do get some degree of natural protection, but very few people are breastfeeding the way they ought to. So I would not advocate for persons to rely on that method, because we do have persons who got pregnant while breastfeeding because they were not exclusively breastfeeding.
Okay.
Marion, thank you so much for passing by. We really, really appreciate this. I think that you shed a light on something that we've never spoken about before. And I think that people watching can learn from this. So we just want to thank you so much. I'll remind everybody of the website when we post below and over on our YouTube. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Marion, thank you so very much. And we will talk to you really soon. Thank you.
Bye, Marion. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man,
Take
of
care.
course. Bye.
All right, everybody, that was Marion from the National Family Planning Board. And Marion, we don't know how to end it, Oh, there we go.
So yeah, just to wrap that conversation up, the last question I asked was something that my doctor had said to me, Trey, a lot of women don't think about this, that you need to plan your family after, because I went back to doctor for my postnatal view up, and he was like, yeah, if you don't want to get pregnant, just make sure that you are either A, not having sex, or B, do some type of contract. I was breastfeeding only, so I put back in my
All right, time to
Marion.
talk about myself for the last 3 minutes. So everybody, just want to say I've been sipping on and totally enjoying my Lady B Mixology. This is a spicy summer margarita, and it's good. You should have choked and get on there. Somebody just asked for my lipstick deets. I don't usually wear a lippy this dark, but it is fall. So this is a MAC Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color in...
Yeah, girl, you're all like, wow.
I think I hear Remy, Rem?
Topped with brandy. That's the name of the color. Topped with brandy. This is nice.
Oh, I do hear
quite
Remy.
like it.
I come in now, baby.
Okay, turn on.
All right. So, a video makeup. I've been trying to think of a look that I would, from MAC and MAC here in Jamaica. I've been trying to think of a different makeup look, because every time I do my makeup, it's with the same exact theory. So if I do another makeup video, I want to do something. I'm coming!
Well, now I get the floor. So, I did my makeup today with my old little fat palettes on my hair from God knows when. No, sir, Jodi is too much. Hi, Rem. Oh, she wakes up smiling. She's so cute. Hi, Rem. Come show everybody you just wake up face.
Say hi, guys.
Ah.
All right. right.
You look like Dr.
Like Cindy Lou.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have a minute remaining. We want to thank Marion from the National Family Planning Board for stopping by. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel, Jodi and Tricky, where all of this information will be posted. So some of the questions that people were late on asking, or you maybe not have heard, everything was answered. Most of the questions that you're asking were answered. I'm going to finish my drink on the couch.
I'm going to finish my drink on the couch too.
Thank you so much, everybody. Cheers.
And thanks to our sponsor today, Lady B.
Mixology. Blackout Remy.
We love you guys, and thank you as always for coming and joining us on our live. It is so important that we have you, or there would be no show.
YouTube is still going.
You just done, Mr. Jesus.
All right, let's take a pic. Oh, we don't even have any pictures. Oh, this is a beautiful shot. Oh my. Remy, look at the camera. We need to take a thumb.